Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to find a culvert on the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife barrier map. First thing you're going to want to do is go to Google, and the best way I access it is by typing WDFW fish passage. Once there, you're going to hit the Washington State Fish Passage. It's going to be a geodataservices.wdfw.wa.gov link. It's going to take you to a map here. You're going to hit OK on this pop-up. And this shows all of the culverts in Washington State. There's a lot of different things you can do from this website. The first and easiest thing to do is if you already have a site ID for a culvert, you can put it up in the search bar here. I have copied one already, so mine was XID0823. If I hit enter on it, it zooms me in and takes me to this culvert in, I believe it's in Snohomish County. You can tell a lot from the culvert just by this pop-up menu here. First off, it will tell you the latitude and longitude, which can be helpful when you're trying to find it. It can tell you the road name. It can tell you if it is a barrier, so it was previously assessed and someone said that it was a barrier. The reason why was because of slope, and it's 0% passable. The owner type is also usually listed. Here we see that it is the county, and it looks like the Snohomish County Department of Public Works surveyed it in 2007. It lists the type of species present. It can also list if there was a barrier correction. So those will usually have a blue circle around the symbol on the screen. You can also look at the total passage summary report by hitting more info. When you hit that, you'll see the entire document that's generated every time someone submits a survey. It basically has all the information we just saw. You can see site comments and directions as to how to get there, and anything else that might be there. They'll also include photos. A lot of the time, there will also be photos down at the bottom of this screen. So I'm going to zoom out and try and find one that has a photo for you. Let's go with this one. Here, as you can see, someone has included a photo. You can click it to make it bigger and get a better view of what it looks like. And we'll pick one more. This one was most likely corrected, so I'm going to go over here and zoom in a little bit. See how there's a blue circle around the green dot. Green means it's not a barrier. Red usually means it is a barrier. And yellow usually means it is partially a barrier. So when I click this, it says there was a barrier correction in 2008. It says it was a culvert replaced with a culvert. And if we look here, this is what it looks like now. It's a nice box culvert. Another great thing to notice is this is what it used to look like. But alternatively, at the top of the screen, there's this little arrow. If you hit that arrow, it's going to take you to what the old culvert was sometimes. Actually, in this case, this is the new one, I believe. But these arrows are really important because you can look at different surveys, which is very helpful. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the query tool to find a group of culverts that you might be looking for if you're looking in a specific area. Now this map shows culverts, but it also shows things like bridges and non-culvert crossings and other things of that nature. So we want to filter those out to make it easier for you to find. Another thing you might want to filter out is privately owned culverts, which there's a lot of them. And if you haven't gone through our training to survey private properties, then you're going to want to filter those out because it can get kind of overwhelming with the amount of privately owned culverts. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the query button, which is right here. It is the magnifying glass. We're going to go to all other searches. Once there, you can choose from a whole host of different things that you want to look for. I normally start with the county that I'm specifically going to look in. We're going to look in Snohomish County. We can look by city, and here's the big one, owner type. I only want to look at state, federal, county, and city ones today. That's it, nothing else. So we have that. And then feature type. We're only going to be looking for culverts. We do not want to see dams, non-culvert crossings like bridges, fishways, diversions, or natural. Just culvert. So I selected that. We can look at the barrier status if you want to choose if it's a barrier or not, potential species, the RIRA, and anything else. Next, you're going to hit apply. Once you apply, it's going to pop out with all of the culverts that fall into your area. And it looks like we got it. So this is showing all of the culverts in Snohomish County that meet my query. So we're looking at culverts that are in Snohomish County, that are a culvert, and that are state, county, or city. So they're all annotated by the red. As I zoom in, we can zoom in even more, and let's take a look at this culvert here. Not a lot of info on this first page, but if I hit the next one, the arrow, it will pop up with all the information we looked at earlier, and we can verify that the owner type is the state. It was last surveyed in 2002 by the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife, and there's no picture or anything like that. Same thing with this one over here. We have some pictures, and that's it. That means it was probably a very old culvert that was surveyed a long time ago. Looking at the picture, it looks like it was in 2005. So they don't have a lot of info on it. That, in a nutshell, is how you can search for culverts in specific areas, by site ID, etc. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Nick Eulacia, at nicholas@washingtontu.org. Thank you.